spot for the day.
I know him.
So about 10 days ago or something, Pope Leo had a birthday and he turned 70 years old, and I realized for the first time in my life I'm older than the Pope. And that's never happened to me before. So, and it's kind of an alarm clock a little bit. It kind of goes, you know, you don't want to waste any time. And the gospel reading this morning that I was reflecting on, reading from the day, Jesus says, put your light where people can see it. And so that's something we talk about here often enough, about be a light that people can see by. And so because especially in the times in which we find ourselves right now, we're just reminded of things that are kind of dark. And even the incident on Friday, you know, so many of you really with great purpose and kindness, you shorten the darkness of that moment, which is what we're called to do. You know, Jesus never says, I am the light of the world. He says, you are. You are. And so you don't want to waste even a single moment not being light. So whenever you are putting yourself first, or rather when you decide not to be first, but put somebody else first, or whenever you are kind of unexpectedly wandered into an act of kindness, or whenever you are generous in your tenderness with each other, you are shortening the darkness. That's how light works. It starts to remove what is dark. This is a story you know, from a long time ago, but I remember a homie named Youngster who, you know, I walked him over to Homeboy Silkscreen, and he began working. He was only 19 years old. And I was introducing him to his coworkers, and a great many of them are enemies, and everybody has that experience here. You're working side by side with, you know, people you used to have beef with. And I watched him shake hands with each one of those guys, including multiple enemies, until he got to this last guy named Puppet, and the two of them refused to shake hands with each other, and it was kind of jarring. And they mumbled something, they stared at their shoes. I know they're enemies because I know what neighborhoods they're from, but he just shook hands with a whole bunch of enemies. So I find out later that this was really deep and personal, beyond which neither of them thought they could really get past. And so I sensed that at the moment. I said, look, you know, if you can't hang working with each other, let me know, because I got a gang of people who really do actually want this job. They didn't say a word. Well, 6 months later, Puppet is walking to a store to buy something, a little corner store, some distance from his house. On the way home, he decides to take a detour, cuts into an alley. Suddenly, unexpectedly, he's surrounded by 10 members of a rival gang. There's 10 against 1, they beat him badly. He's on the ground and they're kicking his head repeatedly, they won't stop. Somebody finds his lifeless body, takes him to White Memorial Hospital, and he's declared effectively brain dead. But they keep him connected to machines for 48 hours. I remember at the end of the 48 hours, I anointed his forehead with oil. I'd known him a long time. I was there when they disconnected after he had 2 days of a straight line, flat read. And then a week later I buried him. But in the first 24 hours, I remember it was 8 o'clock at night in my office on 1st Street. And the phone rings, and it's Youngster, Puppet's coworker from the Silkscreen, and he just says, hey, that's messed up about what happened to Puppet. And I said, yeah, it is. And then with a certain kind of eagerness, he says, is there anything I can do? Can I give him my blood? And I remember we both sort of fell silent under the weight of it, until finally he broke the silence, choking back his tears. And he said with great deliberation, He was not my enemy. He was my friend. We worked together. And that's the sound of the darkness getting shortened. Whenever you put somebody else before yourself, like the tenderness we saw as people comforted each other and supported each other and looked out for each other on Friday. For the concern that you have for Ubaldo, who took the brunt of stuff. In your unexpected kindness with each other that may even startle you, you are shortening the darkness. In the ways that you embrace a tenderness that will change the world, you are shortening the darkness. And for as dark as these times can be, put your light where people can see it. Because life is too short to waste any time not being light. Because trust me, with any luck, the day will come